all you monkey map makers out there, we are back with part 3. That's 6, but take it away, Dimwee.
Starting where we left off in the last video, first thing we're gonna do is add a map boundary, so when you fall out of the map, you don't just fall forever. So go ahead and pull the camera out, just like this, and then down in the project window, open the map prefabs folder. Inside of that folder, locate the map boundary prefab, and drag and drop that prefab into the scene window. Now use the position tool like I'm doing here to push that boundary underneath the floor. And then in the inspector window, set the X and Z values for scale to 50. This stretches the boundary beyond our floor, so when we fall off the floor, we land on the boundary. Now back in the project window, locate the teleport point prefab. Drag and drop it into the scene and make sure it sits above the floor. Now select the map boundary, and over in the inspector window, remove the extra teleport points that we don't need, and then drag and drop our teleport point into that field like this. Then also make sure to drag both the map boundary and the teleport point into my first scene in the hierarchy. Now, when you fall out of your map, you should return right next to the virtual stump. Now to start creating our first platforming course, we're gonna right-click My First Scene and select Create Empty. Name this Platforming Course. Next, right-click Platforming Course, then select 3D Object, Cube. Name this Cube 1. Now use the Position tool to move the cube away from the virtual stump and position it so its bottom is just intersecting with the floor. Now select the Scale tool and adjust the cube so it's a rectangular block that you would be comfortable standing on. Now once the cube is a size and shape that you like, click on the cube in the hierarchy, Control-C, Control-V, and create a copy. Then use the Position tool to move the copy out of the original and push it up like it's the second step in a staircase you're about to start building. Once that's in position, once again, Control-C, Control-V to create a third block, and then move the third block out and up from the second. Now also be sure to go back to the Assets folder, select Materials, and then take the stone material or any material you like and apply them to the blocks. Now also be sure to rename the cubes that we copied to Cube 2 and Cube 3 so we have a set. Next, we're gonna add some buttons so our staircase looks more like a platforming course. Right-click the platforming course in the hierarchy, select 3D Object, Sphere. Now move that sphere so it's sitting on top of that first platform. And then we're going to adjust the scale so it's half its size. Just put 0.5 in all 3 fields for scale. Now shift the sphere off to the side so it's a little out of the way, and we're going to rename it On Button. Now down in the project window, search for Object Activation. This will find the Object Activation script. You'll see a few results. Make sure to select the one that says Custom Map Support Runtime.dll. Then just drag and drop that script onto your On button in the hierarchy. Now click on it, and in the inspector window, set Triggered By to Hands, because we want this to be a button that we push with our hands. Once we've done that, select On button in the hierarchy again, then Control-C, Control-V to create a copy. Rename the copy to Off button, and then move it off to the side so it's no longer intersecting with the On button. Now back to Assets, go to the Materials folder and move the flat green to the On button and flat red to the Off button. And now that we're setting up our buttons, select Cube 2, go ahead and turn that off. Select On button in the hierarchy, and then drag and drop Cube 2 into the Objects to Activate field. And then select Off button and drag Cube 2 to the Objects to Deactivate field. And voila! You now have the start to your very first platforming course. Now it's time to test. Be sure to save your work and then go to Tools, Export, just like we did before. We're going to name this one My First GT Course. Next, head on over to Mod.io, make sure you're logged in, and in the navigation bar on the left side, select My Content, and in there, select the tab for Mods. And there you can select your map. In the upper right, select Admin, and then in General Settings, select Files. Then click Add a New File. And then just upload your export like you did the first time. So here it is, check it out. If these videos have been helpful to you, please smash that like button. And if you've been able to make this map, go ahead, record yourself in it, post that to social media, and tag us. We want to see what you're making. Whoop! Just playing. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.